Print servers in federal environments create risk and unnecessary complexity. Every new printer, location, or policy adds strain to infrastructure that was never built for today's demands. FedRAMP High Authorized Printer Logic eliminates print servers with a secure cloud-native, zero-trust solution designed for federal IT. With advanced security, centralized control, and simplified management, agencies can modernize print without added burden. See what secure serverless printing looks like. Visit Vasion.com to learn more.
Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
The intelligence community just launched a shared classified jobs portal. ICJobs is just like USAJobs, but for those with top secret security clearances. The goal is to help the intelligence community put the right talent in the right work roles. Justin Doubleday, Federal News Network's reporter, joins me now with more details. Justin, explain to me how a top secret jobs portal is actually going to work.
Yeah, well, I don't have a top secret clearance, so I'm not going to be able to look at it, but this will be available to anyone in the intelligence community with one of those high secret clearances. Doug Casa, the IC Chief Information Officer, said that ICJobs launched several weeks ago, and it's been adopted so far by the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office, with more to follow, he hopes. Casa broke this news at the DOTIS Worldwide Conference down in Tampa, Florida, just this past week. And of course, the launch of this internal jobs portal, which is obviously what it is requiring a top secret clearance, it comes as the IC has seen a lot of turnover during the Trump administration, some hiring freezes. Officials have sought to also downsize the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and return many of the employees who are on detail there back to their home agencies. So there's a lot of kind of churn within the intelligence community's workforce right now. And I guess this ICJobs portal might be a way for the intelligence community to make sure that all those people who have kind of been moving around, maybe moving up because people are leaving, can identify good opportunities perhaps at other agencies across the intelligence community.
It sounds like a way to sort of shuffle the personnel deck amongst the players who are already there. But is there a bigger picture or a bigger vision of how this will help the intelligence community?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's kind of reshuffling the deck. It's a little bit of a shift in terms of what we've heard IC leaders talk about for the last really 5-10 years. It's all been about recruiting tech talent, bringing in, younger people out of college. And that is certainly still a priority. But there's also an element here of like, all right, we've got who we've got. Let's try to hang on to them too. And, the intelligence community tends to also be a little bit siloed. And there are 18 intelligence agencies. Oftentimes in the past, you would work at one your entire career, 30, 40 years even. Now there seems to be more of an emphasis on, all right, we've got a talented person here. Maybe they're getting a little burnt out at the National Security Agency, but maybe they want to find a job somewhere else. And Casa really put this in terms of the artificial intelligence race, the AI race with China. It's all about making sure that you have that uber talented person in the right job to find, to work on the right problem.
If you look at where we are competing around the world in AI today, it is not in the technology necessarily. And look at it in industry right now. It's in the people. It's in the skill sets. It's bringing the right skills in to develop purpose-built models to deploy. And the only way you're going to do that is by managing your hiring and your allocation of those personnel resources across the community more effectively.
What else did you hear at the conference or from the conference about how the intelligence community is approaching the risks of AI?
Well, cybersecurity is obviously a big concern for the IC and for the IC CIO in terms of how the IC is going to adopt AI, deploy AI agents and things like that. And one thing Cosa mentioned is that zero trust is becoming more and more important as a concept. It already was kind of the central cybersecurity concept, but with AI and AI agents, it's kind of taken on a little bit of a paradigm shift and a little bit of even heightened importance for how the intelligence community will adopt AI. He said that the IC is investing in an a new community-wide enterprise service for identity management, making sure that you're properly identifying not just human users, but, machines and AI agents and things like that, and ensuring that they are accessing the resources, the IT data and things like that they should be able to access, and only that. CASA talked about how they're going to pilot and test those shared identity management tools starting this fall. And this is all rolling up into kind of a shared zero trust paradigm across the intelligence community.
We tend to think of cybersecurity as friction prohibiting a function from occurring. But in reality, if we do zero trust, how we've defined it, which is getting your identity down and doing fine-grained entitlements to get data exactly where it needs to go to the individuals and the functions that need it, it becomes a key mission enabler. And so we have to flip our paradigm in that regard as well.
So beyond these topics, are there other areas where the ODNI wants to see better integration across the intelligence community?
Yeah, CASA mentioned a couple other areas. One is in DevSecOps. That's the software development kind of pipeline model that all agencies have really been moving toward if they haven't adopted already. CASA said that the ICCIO's office wants to put in place a kind of shared infrastructure and shared resources for DevSecOps across the intelligence community, and that will be happening in the near term. The second area is in financial systems. He said that's an area that's ripe for automation within the intelligence community, and you have all these different systems within the IC right now, all kind of manual. And what they're looking to do at ODNI is to not only replace the legacy system that they have in place right now, but then to automate how data feeds into kind of a central financial system and architecture moving forward. So those are two other areas where you're seeing the ICCIO's office really try to spearhead kind of this intelligence community-wide approach to specific technology areas.
That's Federal News Network's Justin Doubleday. Justin, thanks for bringing us up to speed. This sounds like an ambitious agenda.
Yeah, it certainly does. Thanks, Terry.
You can find his story at federalnewsnetwork.com.